Hello everyone, this is Varsha and you are watching the series of success stories brought to you by Indian Achievers Forum. So once again, we are here with you all to discuss the success story of one more achiever of our, and this time we have with us Mr. Biplab Chaudhary, an industry expert with an experience of over 15 years in the field of IT, consulting and services, data management, business strategy and transformation, big data analytics, BPO services call, and corporate workforce restructuring. Mr. Biplab is currently the CEO of PTS Consulting Services, a global IT consulting and BPO call center company with clients from all major industries, providing services for Fortune 500 organizations and several other private businesses. But before we actually start the conversation with him, let's quickly have a look at a very small video telling you about what we actually do.
Indian Achievers Forum is driven by a full-fledged advisory board. The board consists of experienced personalities who have excelled in their respective careers. Together, the forum organizes conferences, events, workshops, exhibitions, trade shows, and B2B initiatives in India as well as abroad. Where there is passion, there is achievement. And where there is achievement, there is Indian Achievers Forum.
Hello,
Hello,
sir. How are
everyone.
you? Okay, so before we actually start the conversation, sir, I'm very keen to know that how did you actually land up to the idea of starting up with this company of yours?
Um, actually, the idea came in 2012. I had a company before, and I, fresh out of the college, I started one engineering firm, and then I sold it off. And then I decided to get into the space of IT consulting. And in 2012, that's when I started this company. The idea behind it was I was in consulting, and I saw certain area and aspect of it which needed a lot of changes. The service delivery quality, things that customers were missing for. So that gave me an idea. Why don't I start something delivering to my customers what they are looking for, and not be into the orthodox world of consulting. And that's how the whole idea behind this started.
Right, so thinking of an idea and its executions are two very different things, and I'm pretty sure that you must have also had certain sort of challenges in your professional role. So, if you can tell us a bit about those challenges and also the overcomings for the same.
Running a business is always challenging. It's at the inception level, when you are matured, when you're halfway stage, it's always challenging. Like uh, you know when you start a business, where are you going to get the funding, how are you going to hire the employees, right? These are all practical challenges, but this doesn't go away when you're like, okay, 5 years into the business, and it's not going to be there. In very simple term, I tell people, running a business is like having your own child, right? So what do you like? No matter how much people say what to do when you have a child, or take advice from anyone, end of the day, your challenges are your challenges, right? As a parent, what you going to decide with the kid, how you going to raise him, how you going to groom him, how you going to bring him to the society. Same thing with the business, right? It's success and failure in business is the same way. How the entrepreneur or the owners or the principals, right, they decide what they want to do in future, with a clear distinct path, distinct vision, an idea behind it, that where I want to see myself, or why am I even doing the business, right? That's the first thing I tell everyone. Ask yourself why you want to do a business, right? Um, so yeah, in a very nutshell, the challenges are always there, right? And like I said, like as of right now, being 10 years in the business, we still go through challenges in this changing world today. We are going through immense talent pool shortage and everything, and it's giving us challenge how we want to grow to the next level. um, so yeah, I think we have to be very persistent and very adaptive to the challenges that you face on a daily basis, and apply all your knowledges, experience, and everything to overcome that.
Very true, sir. So now, if you can please brief us a bit about the product and services that your organization is providing to people out there.
So we are an IT global IT consulting firm. We predominantly, are a service-oriented company. We do have certain products in terms of softwares that we built, which does operational changes or streamline operational processes and everything. But our core vertical is in IT consulting, which is the development of solutions and IT consulting, predominantly on the business consulting side. And we have a big BPO practice. So business process outsourcing, both in the HR field and in finance field.
Right, sir. So now, moving ahead, everyone do plans for their future. So, what further plans are you having for the company in the upcoming years? If you can please discuss or share a bit of your plans with us.
So one of the thing, we started, being an Indian, I started this company when I was in US, and I expanded in India. We are last year, 2 years ago actually, I expanded in Latin America, Australia, Canada. One of the thing is, with the changing world, global expansion has become a necessity. Right, if businesses are only looking at a local service, it's not feasible anymore. So of course, our global expansion in next 2 years is very, very critical. And having said that, both emerging market of Latin America and India is our primary focus. uh, Number two is, of course, we definitely want to get into that critical number, or the revenue number that we are looking for in next 2 to 3 years. We want to cross the 150 million mark globally. So those are pretty much two very short term or near future plans that we have with our business.
Right, sir. And I wish you all the success for all these plans of yours.
Thank you.
Okay, so now moving ahead, sir, these pandemic situation has made us all realize that how important it is to become Atmanirbhar. So, what are your thoughts and views on on this concept of becoming Atmanirbhar, and also how is your company working towards this?
To be very honest, I always feel this is not something new. Every business have to be atmanirbhar, right? It's the term being used after Mr. Modi announced it for the country, for the nation. But it's at an individual level, right? Everybody have to be self sufficient, which is we have always been taught to. Every business have to be self sufficient, right? You cannot do a business where you are reliant only on one customer or two customers, or only relying on a certain service or a product. You have to evolve, right? You have to self-reliant yourself. What during this pandemic, what has taught us that yes, your dependency factor on everybody else cannot be at a very high stream, right? It has to be at somewhere. You have to have the reliance that if the things goes bad, we are still able to sail through. With that being said, I personally feel the Atmanirbhar India program is phenomenal. If you see the global index, also, I think people are looking at an alternative when it comes to, let's say, manufacturing, which was China dominated. Now people are looking into India. Service sector, India has always been there. And reality is, the global market has not tapped India the way they should have, right? I don't think there is immense potential in next 10 to 12 years. And the simple mathematics is that, 2 years ago I expanded in Costa Rica, and being in that country, I realized the country has only 5 million population, out of which 1.8 million is employable population. So when you see that kind of a number, you can relate yourself. Your business can grow only to a certain point, right? There is the labor power is just not there, right? No matter how much we bring the technology and everything. Whereas in India, it's fairly very, very untapped, right? There is way more. There is skill building exercise that can be done, right? There is just humongous potential. So with that being said, like I mentioned, we are definitely looking to expand in India big time in next 2 years. Two of the program that we want to bring to India is training or upskilling our workforce, not just the current workforce, also the future workforce that we're going to employ. And based on the market trend or the global trend, what being out there or how it's been changed. So that's something we are very very looking at. And also from a product standpoint that we are launching, we are keeping India as a marketplace, because it's if you drop a product in US, you're looking at 330 million, whereas you launch a product in India, you're looking at 1.4 billion. So that's the simple comparison. um, so yeah, that's overall our plan. And we want to be the self reliant and self sufficient, both in those two countries.
Right. So now moving ahead, though I know it's always a very wonderful feeling when we get recognitions for our work, still I would love to know from you that what are your feelings on winning this CEO of the Year award for you?
It feels really great. I'll be honest with you. When you are a CEO of a company, you're a loner. You don't really have a friends, or you're the guy who's running this business. Everybody else, like, even if your top management is working for you, at times you feel you're very lonely. You don't know what you are doing, whether it's a success, it's a failure, how's your journey going on. And believe me, in such situations, an award like this inspires you, motivates you, right? And somewhere you realize that, what things that I'm doing is being recognized well, right? Gives more energy, gives more aspiration to do more.
Absolutely, sir. And you are a truly achiever, I must say so.
Thank you.
Right. So now moving ahead, as we have discussed a lot about your professional role and also the future plans that you're having, tell us a bit about the CSR activities too that you're involved in.
uh you know I think CSR, personally, I'll before I tell you what we've been focused on. I think CSR should not be looked at as a practice that one have to make. It should just be a compulsory activity, right? Like, how you run a company, you have an HR department, you should have a CSR department, because end of the day, it's not really a so when I started the business, what am I doing? I'm creating a value for the people, an employment for the people. So there is social responsibility involved, right? It's not just the idea of just to make money or anything. With that, we as a company and I as a firm believer, that education plays the most important role. And what we as a corporate social responsibility, what we do is, we try to engage with education program for kids, right? No matter any geolocation, it's just not in India, just not in overseas, wherever we can, because the future of workforce, future of business, future of a nation is on the education that we give to the child. There's a famous saying, teach the kid and let it be, whether what destiny he gonna pick. So education, I think, is the first and foremost important thing. And we have been very focused. A couple of years ago, we sponsored a couple of high talented, economically deprived kids, because I don't think talent should be hidden, um, based on you just don't have the money, or you don't have the economic strength. So we are a very firm believer. I actually came from a family where nobody in my family have done business. I grew up in India, in Dehradun and Calcutta. My dad was a government servant. So me and my sister, we grew up not having a lot of things in our hand. But one thing our parents always gave us is the education. They never compromised on that. And I feel strongly that for next generation, if we can, as companies can come forward, a lot of things automatically will change for the betterment of the society.
Very rightly said, sir. So now, before concluding our lovely session, what message or mantra you would like to give to our new generation to become successful in their careers?
um, there is no one recipe for the next generation that I can tell them that, hey, this is the recipe of success. But I always say, that, remember, the core fundamentals never change, right? Which is, be honest, put your hard work, right? Be passionate about what you do. If you don't feel passionate about it, don't do it, right? Don't force yourself in doing it. And one of the most important thing is education. I always say, don't run away from it. No matter what profession you choose, education will always help you. Uh, um, Reading a book, where doesn't matter whether it's a magazine or a you know uh, uh, engineering book. It will always give you knowledge, and knowledge is the most important thing. The more knowledge you gather, better you will be for the society, and you will be able to change the society that way.
Very rightly said, sir. So, thank you so very much for joining with us today. It was pleasure talking to you, and I wish you all the success for all your future endeavors as well. And may you continue to inspire us the way you are doing. Thank you so very much for your time.
Thank you, Varsha. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.